A very good afternoon to all the participants. Now we have amongst us our speaker of this session, Dr. Kuldeep Singh Nagla. He is working as associate professor in NIT Jalandhar. He did his BTech, that is in electronics and instrumentation, from Punjabi University Patiala. MTech specialization in robotics again at NIT Jalandhar, and he did his PhD on sensor fusion in mobile robots at BR Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar in Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. He remained R&D consultant to Stebis Technology Transfer Germany. He has completed many R&D projects. Some of them are design and development of underwater robot for cleaning the railway tracks, which was funded by MHRD, Government of India. Designing non-woven fabric for pulse jet filtration. This was again funded by MHRD, Government of India. And the last one is pilot project on robotics. Project is in collaboration with IIT Bombay, which is in process. So he has many awards in his credit. Besides this, his interest research areas are robotics, artificial intelligence, sensor fusion in mobile robots, sensor, industrial automation, and embedded systems. So with these words, I would like to welcome Dr. Kuldeep Singh Nagla and request him to kindly proceed for the session.
Thank you very much for providing me an opportunity to speak on recent trends in service robots. So because nowadays large number of service robots are required immediately worldwide as per the data available, and the industrial robots are already, they are having the stagnation point is there, and the industrial robots are already taken their position in all industry for various applications like welding, pick and place. But the service robot is the new area in which there is large number of such robots are immediately required worldwide. So during my presentation, I would like to discuss about the general what is robot and why we use different type of robots, the history of the robotics and various applications. So with the application, we will compare the industrial robots with the service robots and various applications along with the capabilities of the service robot we will also discuss. And at the end, we will case study some of the indigenously developed service robot. We will also try to find out what are the basic components, how the service robots are working, and what are the main requirements of the service robot. So if you see the word robot, so you already know that the word robot is a Czechoslovakian word, and it was first time used in 1923. The name of the play was Universal's Rossum's Universal Robots. So at that time, they were using this word robot in the play to the workmen, to the people who are working like machines. So after that, so many mechanisms, machines has been developed for the help of mankind, and they are termed as a robot. So even before 1923, many other machines, mechanisms, which are right now looking like they are, at that time they were also working like the robots, but at that time the word robot was not there. So worldwide there are so many definitions are there in the field of the robotics. Okay, as per the Webster directory, so the robot is an automatic device that perform functions ordinarily ascribed to the human beings, such as the washing machine. But the washing machine is not a robot. So Webster's dictionary, it shows that it is the automatic device that is performing the different functions. So in that case, in many other mechanisms, the people are giving the command and the machine is working, but it may not be a robot. Then another definition is given by the Robotics Institute of America, RIA. So A robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator designed to move the material, parts, tools, or specialized devices through variable programmed motions for the performance of a variety of tasks. So this definition is having so many different components. One is a reprogrammable. So that means that the today's robot must be a reprogrammable in nature. So that means the computer is required, the microcontroller, microprocessor may be required. It must be the multifunctional manipulator so that it may be able to perform the different tasks. So the robots, according to this definition, it must have the the capabilities to move the parts and the tools through the variable programmed motion. So the variable programmed motion is another important factor, because the manipulator can move on a variable programmed motion, means at various speed, acceleration, deceleration, the capabilities of the robot should be there. So in instead of this, there are so many other definitions are there, but we can say that there are lot many definitions are there, and lot many terms are there which are linked with the robots. But if you see the various other, like the Japanese people, they are defining the robots in another term. The France people, they are defining the term there in another way. So the Japan is the leading country in the field of the robotics. So they said the robots can be classified into class 1 to class 6 type of the robots. Okay, so they said the class 1 is the manual handling devices. According to the Japanese people, the crane is also a robot. They said the fixed sequence robots are again machines are again a robot. So they said the machine, like washing machine, the fixed sequence, you are pressing the button, it is performing something. According to Japanese people, it is class 2 automation, and they are also one form of a robotic application. They said the class 3, the variable sequence robot, in which the motion of the robot is the variable, and that variation can be given by the some of the programs. Then the playback robots are there. So in the playback robot, they are programming the robot by moving the robot on a specified path, and teach pendant type of applications are there. Then the robots may be the numerical controlled robot. They are classifying type 5. 5. So the numerical means you are giving the information, you are giving the command to the manipulator in the numerical value. So the numerical value is it may be the angle in term of any other, like move command. So it's some of their, the last class is the intelligent robot. The intelligent robots are those which are taking their own decision according to the environment. Similarly, the France people, they said the type A, B, C, and D type robots are there. Okay, the class type A is the teleoperated. In the case of teleoperated, the robots are teleoperated from long distance or maybe from the short distance, and that operation may be through the wire or without wire. So different ways are there with which the robots are working. They said the type B is the automatic. So they may be the semi-automatic, or it may be the fully automatic machines which are working in the field of robotics. Then the type C is the programmable type of the robot. So some of I already told you the robots which are fixed with microcontroller, microprocessor, or computer are the programmable, and last is the type D are the intelligent according to. So my viewpoint is that the different countries, they have the different perceptions are there, and different names are there, different classifications are there. So this is the way they are defining the robots. What is our perception toward the robots? So we already know that we generally see such type of robots in the Bollywood and Hollywood movies. In the Bollywood and Hollywood movies, you might have seen the robot movie or the Terminator like movie, in which the robot is just like the human gesture, in which the eyes, limbs, face is just like human, and it is moving very fast and having very large capabilities like thinking capability, decision making capabilities are there. But this is just imagination. So right now the robots having a limited speed of walking, limited vision is there, but the imagination in an ordinary person is there. The robot is like a human gesture, having the limbs, having the the legs or the body. But in actual sense, the robot may not be like a human. In the industrial manipulator, maybe a single hand, even single finger or a tool can be a part of a manipulator robot. It may be the mobile manipulator if the manipulator is fixed with the wheels and the end effectors are fixed on the manipulator. The automated guided vehicles, AGV, are the vehicles which are right now used in various industries, and the robot may not be the human like. It may be the another vehicle which is having the human like the limbs. Okay, of course, the full biped robot human like may also be a robot. So that means the robot is not necessary that it is the just like a human. It may be a different forms. Now if you see the classification of the robots, you can classify the robots into the different categories. In the first classification, you can classify the robots on the basis of its autonomous, semi-autonomous operation. So the robot is said to be autonomous if it is taking its own decision according to the environment. So if the robot is say this is the environment, and this is suppose the environment of a room, and this is the position of the robot. Okay, in the case this is the coordinate x coordinate and y coordinate of the robot room, and these are the x dash and y dash are the position coordinates of this robot. Okay, now this robot is an autonomous robot if it is taking its trajectory and reaching to the destination point. The robot is avoiding the obstacles on the way and it is reaching to its destination is an autonomous robot. Okay, so some of them are a semi-autonomous robot. In the case of a semi-autonomous robot, the person can intervene. For example, the robot is moving, but the problem is there, so the person can intervene and it can interrupt the path and can increase or decrease the speed of the robot. Okay, so in addition to that, in semi-autonomous, many other operations can be done. So this is one example of a mobile robot. The autonomous may not be a mobile, it may be a fixed also. Then some of the robots are tele-operated robots. In the case of tele-operated robot, in this diagram you can see the one of the tele-operated robot is there, in which the wireless network is there. Okay, so with the help of this wireless network, the ad hoc network can be made, and with this wireless or with wire or with some other things, the teleoperation can be done. In Bhabha Atomic Research Center, some of the tele-operated robots are used in the nuclear plant. In the case of a telepresence robot, they are right now the emerging area. The people are working in the field of telepresence. So in this diagram you can see the one of the telepresence robot having the wheels, and it is having the self balancing wheel in this diagram, and when iPad is fixed, the position of iPad is again adjustable. It can move upward and downward, and this is the whole motoroid system is fixed with the the battery, and it can move around inside the room. So what are the applications? It can act as a guide. In some of the country, they are using this telepresence robot as a tourist guide. It guides the people to move around, to move certain places, and it is very useful. So my viewpoint is that the robots can be classified as a autonomous, semi-autonomous, teleoperator or telepresence type of robots. Now the robots are having the different locomotion patterns, locomotion methods, like wheels, legged robots are there. One can classify these robots into the different categories on the basis of the locomotion. You can classify the robots as a stationary robots which are not moving. The stationary robots are, most of them are the industrial robot, and they are the fixed like Cartesian robot. The word Cartesian is according to their work environment, its workspace. Then the cylindrical robots are those robots which are working in a cylindrical work envelope. So their maximum reach and the mobility due to its mechanical constraint is a cylindrical one. Some of the robots are they are termed as a stationary robot, but they are spherical robot because their work volume is a spherical. SCARA robot, articulate, and parallel robots are there. These are the industrial robot, and they are the fixed robot most of the time. If these robots are fixed on some mobile platform, only then these robots can act as a mobile platform for these robots. Then there are the wheeled robots. So many wheeled robots are there. So like the robot may be a one leg robot, it may be a biped robot, it may be a tri-pedal robot, and a hexapod, and many leg robots are there. So the selection of the wheel, the number of the wheel depends upon the various requirements where it is required, what type of the structural configuration is required, and what are the environments. And another classification is the legged robot. The single leg robot is also possible. It is moving on a single leg. Then biped robot and tripedal robot, quadrupedal robot, hexapod robot, and many legged robots are there. Similarly, the robots are sometimes inspired by some of the insects. In the insects, many legs are there, like it may be the 8-legged, it may be a multi-legged robots. So my viewpoint is that according to the locomotion, the robot may be a stationary robot, it may be a wheeled, it may be legged robot. In addition to that, the robots may be some other type of the robots on the basis of their locomotion. If the robot is swimming in the water, it is termed as an underwater robot, and they are termed as a swimming robot. So some of the robots are the flying robot, then the robotic ball, swarm robots, then modular robots, and many type of robots are there in which the claws are there, and snake robots are also there. Some of the robots are termed as a hybrid robot in which the locomotion parameters are different types. For example, the robot, for instance, it may be the moving on a wheel, and on another time it may be clawing, and it has the legs like structure in the last diagram, in which the hybrid robots you can see here. So this is the classification of the robots on the basis of their mobility, on the basis of their locomotion. Uh, Next is the classification of. So the various applications, like the robots are working in a space called space robot. The robots working in a military called a military robots, medical robot, industrial robot, service robots. Then underwater robot, aerial robot, and many other application areas are there in which the different types of robots are working. So one can say on the basis of the application that it is a underwater robot, it is a aerial robot, it is a medical robot. Then before implementing the robots, before thinking about the robot, we have to consider various advantages. What are their advantages? So so many advantages are there of a robots over the humans. Uh, one of the advantages. One of the advantages that the robot increases product quality. So you know that in industry, in service robot, if you are using a server robots, the accuracy in work is increasing, and the product quality is, of course, will be a superior. The example is spray painting over some articles by robot is very gradual, and good quality of deposition of a paint, welding, as well as pick and place operation, cleaning operation in service robot is very good. It also increase the efficiency, as the robots are there is a without any fatigue, they can work for a very long duration and continuously they can work, and they increase the safety also. If the robots are working, they are working in the mechanical domain, many sensors are there, interlockings are there. So the it also increase the safety to the humans as well as other machines, and it also reduce the cost. How the cost is reducing? If the manufacturing unit is having 100 200 robots are there, the production will be fast. As the production rate is large, the cost will automatically reduce, and it also reduce the manufacturing lead time. Then it also increase the productivity. So I already told you, the productivity depends on the mass production, how fast the things are manufacturing in the industry. So the output per person per hour increases if you are using the different robots. This is one example, is a automobile production line. Then the robots are having the capabilities beyond the humans. So this is very important, because the robot, if the robot is fixed with a vision sensor, if the robot is fixed with a vision sensor, the human eye is having the limited view, but the robot can see up to very long distance. For example, the case of a drone robot is flying several kilometers above, and it can watch the things very precisely on the ground. And another example is that how their capabilities are beyond the human. In the surgical robots, if the robot manipulator is fixed with X-ray or some other sensor which are able to see behind the tissue, okay, because behind the tissue the doctor is not able to see, but if the robot manipulator is fixed with certain sensors, it can see behind the tissues. So this is one of the capability. Another is the capability, like during the surgical operation, the doctor can place the cutting tool as well as a suction duct and a camera into the body for a long duration of a time on a fixed position coordinate. But it is very difficult by the human doctor to maintain such accuracy and such position and orientation of the tool inside the body. Then another thing is that it can perform multiple tasks. So due to the fast capabilities of the computer fixed inside the robot, they are having the capabilities to perform multiple tasks simultaneously. So the parallel processing is there. Due to the parallel processing, the robots are taking their decision very fast. And the last is, there is a no social problem, no gender sensitivity, and all these things are there which are the advantage. In addition to that, many other advantages are there which are not I was able to list it here. So many other advantages are there which are there in the field of the robotics. Now there are some disadvantages also. Like, if you compare the robots with the humans, if you compare the robots with the humans, so the robots are of course having a very good production rate can be increased. Their vision is beyond the human. But the one of the thing is that in human, they are having a good capable sixth sense is there. The sense of the human is having a no comparison with the machine right now. And the robots are having a lack of capabilities in the emergency, because the robots are fixed with the instructions in the program. So in this case, they are not able to take their own decision beyond the programming, and inappropriate and wrong response can be generated anytime. This is big problem. If the robot is working, and due to the some wrong sensory information, the sensory information is wrong, the robot can take a wrong decision. Recently, one person has been killed in Europe with the accident of the industrial robot. And loss of power is there, and many damages to the other robots and humans can caused by the robots. And limited capabilities, like the real-time response is again limited. Not in all the robots are very sensitive, and the cost of the robot, initial component cost, is of course high, as there is a need of training, and a need for programming is required in all the cases. So so we already understand that in all fields the robots are working. there is a big prediction by the famous person Bill Gates. He said in near future, every house will be having at least one or two different robots. So these robots in your house may be making the laundry, like in this figure. There may be providing a surveillance outside your house. The robot may be cleaning the carpet. The robot may be attending the elder person in the house. The robot may be a lawn mower or maybe a surveillance, I already told you. So it may be helping the people in the kitchen or maybe helping the entertainment to the kids. So according to the Bill Gates, so due to the revolution of the personal computer, the next revolution will be a revolution of a robotics, and every house will be having at least one or two different robots in near future, and these robots will be the known as the service robots or special robots. Then let's see how the various federations, associations, they classify the robots. Okay, the robot is a general term. They can be classified into the two main categories. One is the service robot, another is a industrial robots. Industrial robot area is already advanced area, and in all industries like automobile industries, packing industries, food processing industries, they are using various type of industrial robots. These industrial robots are performing the fixed tasks like pick and place, welding, spray paint, many other. But the service robots are a bit different. This is new area. So our this talk is particularly focused on a service robot. The service robots, according to the International Federation of Robotics, they are classifying the service robots into the three main categories. One is servicing humans, servicing equipment, and other services robot. So these those which are servicing human means they are providing the services to the human. Servicing equipments are providing various services to the equipments like cleaning a car or some other part, and other service like courier robots. So let's see the how the industrial robots and service robots are in the different one. So in this diagram, you can see the some of the industrial robots. So the diagram is showing here. This is KUKA robot. The name of company is KUKA, is famous robot. So this is for one link, this is another link, and this is the base, and this is the end point where the tool can be fixed. Okay, so this is another example in which this robot is picking large size volume and placing somewhere on a conveyor belt or a roller belt. This is again pick and phonic robot, pick and place application, and this is maybe performing the inspection by using one of the sensor fixed here. So these are the examples of industrial robot, and these are the various examples of the service robot. In the service robot, I already told you, for servicing humans, servicing equipments, or other service robots, you can say it may be the lawn mower, it may be filling the fuel in the car, or maybe the cleaning car, carpet cleaning, or cleaning the pipes, or entertainment robots are the service robot. Now the thing is that this is very important to see right now what is the requirement of the service robot and what is the trend, worldwide trend. So this information is taken from the International Federation of Robotics. It said by 2018, just after 4 years, the global sale of private used service robot will increase to around 35 million unit. So my viewpoint is that in the coming 4 years, the service robot, 35 million service robots are required worldwide, out of which the 25 million units are the domestic robots. They are required in all countries. Like these robots will be the vacuum cleaner, lawn mower, window cleaner, etc., and they will be right at the top. So the priority is there. The people are they are on it demanding that in their house the vacuum cleaners are required because they don't have a time. The servant charges are large, and the maintenance by using a robot will be quite efficient. And it is also estimated that it will be a business of a $12 US in the coming 4 years. For only the service robot, there will be a business of 12 billion US worldwide. So the scope of the service robot you can estimate right now. And there is need of around 9 million entertainment robots are required immediately in coming 4 years. So there is a big volume of the that is a business like 7.6 billion US are required only for the entertainment robot. Entertainment robots are required in houses, in public places to entertain the robots. That may be making a fluid, making a music. The robot may be a dancing robot. The robot may be attending the persons or the kids. So my viewpoint is that according to this worldwide survey, so large number of robots are immediately required, and there is a business of billions of dollars in the coming 4 years. Now we have to see how the service robots will be different from the industrial robot and how they are different. So if you see the industrial robot, their working environment is fixed. I already told you that the industrial robot is like this one. This is the end point of the industrial robot, and this is the fixed link. Okay, so this part is the base part. This is the first rotation, theta 1, and this is theta 2 and theta 3, and certain other motions may be there. Now, this robot is due to its mechanical constraint, it has a fixed volume with which this robot can work. So this is the one thing. Or on the other hand, if you see the case of any service robot, okay, if you see the case of any service robot which is moving inside the room, so the work volume limit is not there. The robot can move in any direction. If it is an outdoor mobility, the long range robot may be there which are moving around in the fields. So this is the first thing. Then they are less interacted with the humans. Who are less interacted? The industrial robots are less interacted with the humans, but on the other hand, the service robots are largely interacted by the humans, like the telepresence robot I told you. So they are very close to the humans. They are always having the interaction, and the degree of autonomy is high in the case of service robot. The service robots are working in very complex or a clumsy environment. And in this case, the robot is moving from one location, but this environment is very complex environment. Why complex? Because the environment is having the furniture around. It may be having some humans which are moving around. Okay, so that means the environment is a dynamic environment. So the capability of this robot should be high as compared to this one. So the viewpoint is that the degree of autonomy is high in the service robot. Then the environment is of course unstructured, and the service robots are considered as a more intelligent. Okay, the intelligent word I already told you, the how they are interacting with the environment, how it is taking decision. In the case of industrial robot, this environment is fixed. The pieces are coming on a conveyor belt, and the sensors are there under the conveyor belt. The sensor sense the pieces. The robot, that this sensor is giving command to the controller, and controller is giving command to the motors of the robot. In this way, no much intelligence is required. It is only picking this object, placing somewhere B location from A location. So not much intelligence is required. Okay, only this much intelligence is required. That piece has come. This is one example. So in some sense, the intelligence may be required. But if you compare the service robot, which are performing service, to the humans, to the machines, surgical robots, the intelligence is required, large intelligence. They are very intelligent due to, because the environment is unstructured and complex environment. So in unstructured and complex environment, the decision making capabilities of these robots should be very, very high. The On the other hand, the industrial robots are reprogrammable, and their motions are reprogrammed, but the service robots are not something like that. They are the multi-purpose, and their capabilities, that like the weightlifting capabilities, mobility, punching, printing, like capabilities are high in industrial robots. Then the service robot and industrial robot application already told you, but these applications are particularly concerned with the service robot, because they are not falling in the category of the industrial robot. If the robot is providing some application on the spacecraft, these are falling in the category of aerospace application. Satellite and aircraft application, service robots are providing surveillance, operation, sports, cargo, and unmanned applications in the aerospace applications. So these are the few applications of the service robot. In addition to that, on a land, the service robots may be used in a defense for bomb threat disposals, then for farming. So lot many applications are there of a service robot in the farming, and wildlife identification, tracking of the birds, underwater station keeping to monitor the fishes and wildlife. So large number of service robots are there. Then in the food factories, transportation, offices, healthcare, and many other applications are there on the land for the service robot. And in water, again, the service robots are largely required. In the defense and security, research and exploration underwater, and then the rescue and the recovery and entertainment like applications are there with the service robot. Excuse me. Uh, this is the one of the service robot which is working in a nuclear power plant. So there is a large number of applications are there in the nuclear power plant. In recent disaster in Japan, so you already know that there is the large many nuclear radiation were there, and these are very dangerous to the humans. In such things, there is a need of the robots. So right now, many service robots are there, which are specially designed for the nuclear power plant application, like underwater cleaning, underwater inspection, and surveillance, because the such nuclear plants are very close to the water locations, because the water is required to generate the steam, as well as many other applications are there. So inspection is required all the time, and remote operation and maintenance. In such circumstances, the humans cannot reach, and the surface decontamination is there. So in order to check all these things, so such type of robots are required. So in this video, you can see the different robots of a different sizes are required in the nuclear power plant. That is the very large size robot, which can be used from the teleoperation, telepresence. So in this machine,